So Ableton just dropped something in beta that most producers don't even know exists yet. It's called the Extensions SDK, or Extensions for short. Okay, listen, it gives you the ability to write your own tools that reach directly into your live session and does the work for you. It's not a plugin and it's not a Max for Live device. Your own tools, built for your own workflow, for your own needs. So this video is the setup guide from zero. By the end, you'll have it up and running and you'll understand exactly what's now possible. So how many times have you been in a session where you're saying, oh, I wish Ableton would just do this automatically? So here's a few examples: batch renaming clips, changing all parameters in all your compressors or saturators, and even cleaning up your arrangement. So either right now you do it by hand or hope someone's made a Max for Live device for it. And that's the old answer. Don't get me wrong, Max for Live is powerful. I'm not trying to bury it. But Max for Live lives in your session. It runs in real time, patches visually, but more than anything, there's a learning curve, and it's not a small one. So the tools you've been wishing for, the session-wide edits, batch operations, workflow automations, Max for Live was never really built for that. Extensions are. The Extensions SDK lets you write JavaScript tools that reach directly into your live session. So right-click a track, right-click a clip, run the tool, it does the job, it's done. No real time, no patching, no Max for Live, just code that works. And Ableton built it specifically to let AI tools help you write it, which means if you can describe what you want with a little bit of work, you could probably build what you want. Before we install anything, think of it like this. It's like you're calling on a helper to do a specific job for you. They're written in JavaScript and run on Node.js, which we'll get into. And if you want to create your own, there's specific ways to do that as well. Hopefully we will in a later video. So a few things that you need and what we're going over. I'm doing mine on Windows. You're going to need a license of Ableton. You're going to need the beta of Ableton, and you're going to need an account on CenterCode. There may be one or two more things in there. I'll add some text just in case I missed any. So with that being said, let's get it set up. So at the time of this recording, this is where you can go to, ableton.com, under extensions, and this is where we are going to go to sign up for the public beta. When you click on this, it'll take you to Ableton's beta program. We are going to scroll down until we see live beta testing portal. This goes to CenterCode, and from here, we are going to make an account. Also, you can go to your browser and type in Ableton CenterCode, and this will bring it up in your searches. So you go here and you can just sign in with Google and make a quick CenterCode account. So when you sign in, it may take you to this page first, it may not. We're gonna mess with the Extensions SDK here in a second, but we need to get the beta. So you go to Live 12 and then Public Beta Release, and we are going to download this one. Okay, once it downloads, it'll be in your download folder, so you wanna click that and then extract the files and run the installer. This will download the beta version of Ableton onto your computer. Okay, so moving on to the next thing, we're going to go to Activities, and we're going to go down to Extensions SDK. This page gives you basic knowledge of what extensions do, kind of like what we talked over in the beginning of the video, but you're going to want to scroll down and go to SDK release page. So this will bring us to the next page. It'll give us a little how to install. We already have the live beta on our computer. That's what we just did. So we will download this, which is the Extensions SDK, and this will also go to your downloads folder, and you will extract that. Now, once this folder is opened up, there's a few files in here. Right now, we're going to focus on docs. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And from here, we're going to go to getting started, and we're going to click on introduction. And this will bring us to a web page so we can get started. Right now, we're going to go down here to next steps, and we're going to click on quick start. So we already have a few of these things. Like I said, we got the beta version and the SDK distribution zip. And so the next thing that we're going to download is the Node.js. I'm going to go ahead and click on the most current version, which is version 26.3.0, and then we're going to go down here to the Windows installer and have that download. So this will also go to your downloads folder, and we're going to go ahead and run that installer. Once the setup wizard pops up, we're just going to keep on pressing next, accept the terms and agreement, and go all the way through to the very end. Once it's done, you're going to press finish, and then right after that, a terminal should pop up. You just press any key. This will download Node.js onto your computer. It may take a second. PowerShell may pop up as well to do the install, so let that do its thing. Okay, so how do you know if we installed it? Well, we go to terminal, type this in, node space dash dash version, enter, and it should give us the version, which is right there. That is the one that we just installed from the website. So like I said, we already installed Ableton, we already installed the SDK distribution zip, we just did Node.js, so now we are going to the code editor. This is for your own extensions. We will cover this in the future, I'm hoping. Click on Visual Studio Code, it'll bring you to here. We're gonna download for Windows. And yes, that's right, that will also be going to the downloads folder. That'll be right here. You can install that. Like I said, we're not gonna go over that in this video, but install it on your computer. So this next step, number 2, this is when you make your own extension. So take a look at this. This will be in the future. I'm hoping maybe we can cover this, but it'll give you a good idea of how your file structure will look like when you build your own extension. Okay, so next thing I'm doing is making an extensions folder. This is in my Ableton folder. As you can see, I have Ableton projects in here. I have stems. This is laying outside of where my Ableton projects will be at. So that SDK file that we downloaded earlier, I'm moving that over into the extensions folder that we just created. The most important part about this all is that we just know where that folder is at. This is so we could tell the computer where to reference the files from. I'm making this extra folder here for when I attempt to make my own, so that's for later. Okay, we're gonna go to examples, and the one that we're gonna work with is the strip silence because Ableton needs strip silence. I don't know why it's not in there yet, so we're gonna do that one. I think that's the coolest one in there. Oh, by the way, go ahead to that top bar right there and press copy address. You're gonna want that. We're gonna go ahead and open up the Ableton 12 beta. So the most important piece about this all is actually in Ableton. We're gonna press Control, comma, go to Preferences, and turn on Developer Mode in Extensions if it's not already turned on. Okay, that address that we copied earlier, we're gonna put that in here as CD. Make sure you put this, and then put the file path, and end it off with a bracket. Press Enter. This will tell us where we are looking at. We're gonna do npm install, and it'll install it on our computer. Next thing is to go to the examples page and scroll down. We then have to run through a process of starting it, which we have to point to where that beta program is at. So we put the start command in, and then we look for the file. The easiest way to do this is through an application called Everything. I think you should have this on your computer if you're trying to find something. Just type in Ableton 12 beta, and we will find it right here. We right click, copy full path, and then after that, we can go back to terminal, command paste, and we're up and running. Now, if you don't want to have to type that in every time, we can make this .env file, which is just a text file. I'm going to open it in Notepad. You can look at the extension host path here. It just points to the beta program, and you just save that in the strip silence. So let's just start this over. CD, put the extension file in, and then we just do npm start this time. And we don't have to type in that long path for Ableton. I should be all done. You may have to reopen Ableton, but once you go in there, all you have to do is throw in a loop that has some silence. In this case, this is a drum loop. You right click, go all the way down to extensions and strip silence. And voila, look at that. So that's the setup. Now Node.js is working with Ableton. You have the developer mode turned on, and they're talking back and forth with one another. You're now in a position that most producers aren't in. This has been released about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago by the time this video comes out. You have a tool that has endless possibilities on what we can automate for your session and your workflows. As long as you can think of it, you can most likely make it. So anything you've done by hand is now in turn a candidate for an extension. It's gonna save you time, it's gonna keep you in the creative flow, and all around, I think it's gonna make us think differently about how we make music. This is the first time that Ableton lets you build tools that serve your own workflow, not just a generic one. I'm thinking about building my own and then going through that process and just expanding it to the world and see what they think about it in a future video, hopefully. But if you want to see that, subscribe so you don't miss it. And I appreciate you watching this far if you have. And so that's how I engineered the vibe. Hope this helped.